The title of this story is Guts. He ordered 3 scoops of spaghetti, 1 piece of peppered snail, 1 piece of peppered croaker fish, 1 moi moi, and a bottle of chilled drink. His bill was 2,850. He sat comfortably and enjoyed his meal. Once done, he walked up to the cashier and handed over his ATM card. The card was declined. He had more than enough money in his account and had used the card earlier to buy fuel. So what was the problem? The POS didn't have network. He waited almost 30 minutes. He had to get back to the office. Can I bring you cash later? The cashier said no. I have to get back to work immediately. Cashier, sir, it is either you give me cash now or I will keep your card here until you provide the cash. Your bill will be deducted from my salary if I let you leave. How could any reasonable establishment treat customers this way? He fumed. She watched the exchange with interest while she ate. They were still there when she finished her meal. She had cash. She walked up to the cashier and paid for her meal. On second thought, she paid his bill too. He was very grateful. He insisted on paying her. They exchanged numbers. When she got to the office, she checked him out on Facebook. He was single. Wow. He called her the next day. She chose her words carefully. She was warm and accommodating. That evening, he showed up just as she was closing. Can I buy you dinner? I'm not dressed for dinner. He drove behind her. She didn't invite him in. She took her time to shower and change. He sat in the car patiently until she was done. She really liked that. He took her to Sheraton's karaoke night. She had a swell time. Why was he still single? He said he had been unlucky with love. She took him serious. It felt really right. And there was something honest about him. He took her home, dropped her at the gate. He didn't even make any moves to touch or kiss her. As she dropped, she was suddenly afraid. Was that it? I paid for his meal and he took me to dinner. I hope I didn't do anything wrong. Why would you say that? She realized she had paddled herself into tricky waters. If she told the truth, she would practically be saying, I am desperate. But she didn't also want to sound too casual. Hug? He did. The hug said her mind. I will call you in the morning. Even if he didn't, he had given her a good excuse to call him and say thank you. It felt better than just waving him away coldly. He didn't call. She found herself looking at the phone every few minutes all day. He didn't. She decided to wait. That evening, as she closed from work, she saw him. He was parked right behind her car. She felt like flinging herself in his arms. He hadn't ditched her after all. He forgot his phone at home and didn't know her number off the cuff. So he drove over and waited for her to close. How sweet. She took him to her flat, cooked for him. They talked. She was surprised by his composure. He kept his hands to himself and didn't even make any sexual moves. She was disappointed. She had no intention of sleeping with him. But she didn't want to be friend zone, not at 38. He must be it. The next Sunday, she worshipped at his church. His face lit up when he saw her. She followed him home afterwards. He lived alone. He was a lawyer. That was all his house told her. I will ask you this only once. You get the chance to answer only once too. Okay. Will you marry me? Everything told her to say no, or at least buy time. Her mother's voice, her sister's counsels, all the sermons on marriage, her common sense. But she once told the good guy, I'll think about it, and the guy took it as a no. By the time she decided to say yes, he was married. She said yes. They had known one another for all of 3 weeks. They had one dinner, met at her house once, and now in his place, the 3rd date, she was foolishly saying yes. She went home with mixed feelings. What if he was a serial killer, a wife beater, a stingy man, a thief. They married in Dubai 2 months later. P.S. They have been happily married for 6 years. They have 3 children. He said he wouldn't have married her if she hadn't said yes. It showed guts. She said she used to fear that she would one day regret saying yes that quickly. She was wrong. The end.